This to send Buffalo to the playoffs for the 4th straight season. Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. And the Bills slide into the postseason for the 4th straight year.
Tell you what, you guys really know how to make it pretty interesting. Huh? Yeah. That's real guts right there. Guts and heart all the way. Guys hurt, guys stepping up. And then T-Bass coming in to finish it off. Playoff berth right there, huh, man? Finding a way every week. How about the Buffalo Bills? No overthinking, right? Go play some ball. Go play some football.
It's an exciting time to be a Buffalo Bill and a fan of the Buffalo Bills.
Welcome into week 16 of the Sean McDermott Show presented by Kaleida Health. And Sean, thanks as always for being here. We're getting deep into the season. You come in with a 5-game winning streak. You clinch the playoffs, your 5th one out of your 6 seasons here in Buffalo. And I know it's not the time for this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You know, you got to sit back for a minute and look at the big picture and think, man, this is everything that you had hoped it would be when you took the job so many years ago.
Yeah, blessed to be here. And like I said the other day, just very fortunate, very grateful to be around the great people we have in our organization, not just on the football side, but the business side, the community outreach that we use here, and the fans. Just never knew, right? You always play, when we played here, you always had an appreciation, but never knew how good it was, and it's been special.
Yeah. So let's start with Josh. I mean, the guy has 25 of 40, 300 yards passing, 4 TDs, 0 interceptions. He led the team in rushing with 77 yards, and he has this unbelievable Superman 2-point conversion, and then he has this clutch drive, 15-play drive. Okay. Yeah. So let's just say this, in finger quotes, he's a toolsy guy, right? Yeah. Forget about all the stuff that he brings physically to the table. What about his mindset and his personality and all that stuff that makes him so good in these games?
Yeah, I think what you see and you feel, right, if you're out there at the game or you're watching on TV or you're his teammate, is he's ultra competitive and he doesn't like to lose, and he'll do anything and everything in his power to win. And when you play alongside of a guy like that, or in this, for me, coach alongside of a player like that, it inspires everyone.
Well, we talked a little bit about this last week, where you're so good at the end of the first half, into the game. You do it better than anybody in football. Josh holds the ball, and, you know, it's a little bit like Secretariat coming around the turn. Like, you're not supposed to go out that fast, right? You're not supposed to soak it up. You know, the strategy's all wrong here. You got to get rid of the ball, and Josh goes out and you know, turns into a James Cook touchdown. Everybody laughed. He said, you know, Josh will learn from it, and you'll learn from it. What do you think about when you're trying to strike a balance with Josh about saying, hey, listen, play within the offense. Here's the play called. Here's what we're looking for, and your mindset, and then just saying, you know what, just that's awesome. Just be you. How do you strike that balance?
Yeah, I mean, I got to believe being around Brett Favre was something similar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, being around Andy Reid, who coached Brett Favre, I would hear similar stories. And now, you know, I'm reflecting on Josh and how those stories with Favre, and no two players are exactly the same, but Josh has an unbelievable ability to extend plays. He's got a little bit of that gunslinger characteristic. It worked out for him this week. It's something that we have to be careful of the next go around, but at the same time, never want to take away his instincts either.
So let's talk about Dawson Knox. He had a team-high 6 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. A few huge catches to tie it. Josh says he loves throwing to him. He's been a little bit of a roller coaster, though. Had a couple of drops in this game as well. But with a guy like Dawson who would emerge, and how important would it be to have him emerge as a guy playing his position? I know one more wide out and all of that and all the weapons outside, but when you got a tight end that's a 3-down tight end, how important can that be?
That's big. I'm a big believer in a good tight end as a security blanket for a quarterback. I think whether it's red zone, 3rd and medium, 2nd and long, getting back on track, whatever it is, over the middle of the defense, I think it's hard to defend.
So you have this playoff caliber. Now you've clinched that. You are playoff caliber, and now the mantra goes to championship caliber. What does that mean on a day-to-day basis when you talk about trust the process? What does championship caliber do to that process?
Well, I think more than anything, Steve, it's about us growing. It's that growth mindset of if you stay where you're at, you'll be one and done. And so we have to continue to raise our game each and every week, the quality and level of our play, And this time of year, that's hard because you're tired, you're worn out, the players are banged up a little bit. And so we got to dig down deep right now and say, hey, how can we each and every week become championship caliber in our play and our approach?
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll catch up with you later in the show to get your final thoughts on facing the Bears in Chicago on Christmas Eve.
The Game Plan is presented by Energy Mark. Trust Energy Mark for renewable energy supply.
Coming up, Eric Wood breaks down Josh Allen's performance against the Dolphins. And stay tuned to hear Dawson Knox mic'd up.
Chopping Wood is presented by St. Bonaventure University, an official education partner of the Buffalo Bills.
Welcome back to the Sean McDermott Show, and it's time now to look back at the tape from the Bills' Saturday night win over the Dolphins. The Bills started out 4 for 4 in the red zone before setting up the game-winning field goal. How'd they reach such success in the red zone?
Well, Josh Allen was incredible in this game, and most importantly, in the red zone when they were able to score touchdowns. Their only time they didn't score in the red zone was when they gave themselves up at the end of the game and didn't punch it in, settled for that game-winning field goal. Josh almost made a critical error before the half, letting the clock run down with 8 seconds left, lets it run to 0, but then along the sideline makes a great throw to James Cook for the touchdown. In the second half, that 44-yard run he had was an absolute game changer. And in prime time, Josh showed up again and made his case for a late MVP rush in this season.
Yeah, well, let's start with Josh's first touchdown of the game. He found Quentin Morris here from 14 yards out. Incredible throw, but a really nice catch as well.
The Dolphins here are in man-to-man defense, and Josh sees the spy there, so he knows everyone across the board is one-on-one, and he goes to Quentin Morris. He's matched up against Javon Holland, their safety. He likes the matchup. Javon Holland has his back turned to him as Josh Allen rolls out to his right, and he sees Quentin Morris looking back at him, able to make the pitch and catch for Quentin Morris's first touchdown of the season.
Okay, now we have to talk about the James Cook touchdown. Josh lets the clock run out. People have got both hands on their head. They're panicking because they're going to waste this opportunity. And then Josh casually hits Cook right before the half. What did you see?
Yeah, we were talking in the broadcast before this play started that the last thing you can do is get tackled in bounds, let the clock run out, or get a sack here. You just can't let any of those happen because you're sitting here with 3 points already in hand. Well, Josh improvises. He's going to break the pocket, man-to-man defense, and as he breaks the pocket to his right, he doesn't get rid of the ball. And so now it's touchdown or nothing. With the spy barreling down on him towards the end of it, James Cook does a great job of being quarterback friendly, breaks it to the inside, then feels a little bit of space to his outside, makes his first touchdown catch of the season.
Let's fast forward to the fourth quarter, and Josh broke a huge run to set up the game-tying touchdown. What happened here?
You know, with the game on the line, Josh is going to use his legs, and here it's a designed quarterback run. And so you have a QB draw. It makes it 11-on-11 football. The Dolphins have 7 guys in the box, but the one defender is going to run out with Knox. So they have a hat-on-a-hat in the box. Greg Van Roten makes a nice block at the second level. Those aren't always easy for the offensive lineman because you don't know exactly on the draw play which direction that the ball carrier is going to break it off of you. But Josh shows off a little bit of speed here as well as he gets to the second level, running away from the secondary of the Dolphins. And this was a game-changing play when the Bills needed it most.
Yeah, and then just a few plays later, Josh connected with Dawson Knox for the game-tying touchdown. Break this one down.
Yeah, the Dolphins were adamant about staying in man-to-man defense in the red zone. And so here, Dawson's going to be working in the slot, and he takes an inside release to create some space for himself on the outside. And as soon as he's breaking his route, Josh is already getting rid of the football. He knows exactly where he wants to go for the ball there. Diggs has true double coverage on the outside, and so he's looking away from him anyways, and he finds Knox for the touchdown.
Great stuff as always. Thanks for this, E. We'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Steve.
When we come back, we'll have Dawson Knox mic'd up from the Bills' win over Miami. And later, we'll break down the next-gen stats on Sportsology.
Mic'd Up is presented by Geico.
Hey, one job to get done today, man. Find a W. Yes, sir. Play for each other. Love y'all. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win. There it is. There he's back.
Hell of a night for your best football, brother.
Have a night, baby.
just had a weird deja vu moment. That happened in this.
It's all a simulation anyway.
Yeah, we're in the Matrix.
We are. I took the red pill.
Just wish we could get a better punt.
Yeah, our punter's been.
In the shotgun, takes, runs to his right, fires to the end zone. It is caught in the end zone, and it is a Buffalo touchdown. Touchdown, Buffalo. Quentin Morris made the catch.
Let's go! Let's go! I hope he saved the ball. Hey! That release was nasty, baby. I hope you saved that ball. I forgot it. Thanks, Father.
Is your mom leaving the truck?
Yeah, you want it? I'll tell her to leave it if you want it. Little Ford Raptor.
Is that what it is? That's your old truck?
Yeah. Come on, Dad.
Now.
I gave it to my dad. Ford Raptor.
Oh, just got a new one?
Yeah. I didn't like the 10-hour drive.
Josh looks to throws it to Hines, makes the catch at the 5, cruises into the end zone, touchdown, Buffalo!
Let's go! Woo! You blacked out on the first one, don't you? You blacked out, don't you?
Yeah, I don't even remember what I did with the ball.
I blacked out. I didn't know what to do. I started high-fiving the fans.
Well, I had a whole plan of a celebration, all that out the woods.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what to do.
Steps up in the pocket, fires into the end zone, it is caught. Dawson, Knox, touchdown, Buffalo! Dawson, Knox with a touchdown.
Josh.
Nice ball today, huh? Good job.
Yeah, appreciate y'all taking all the heat off me. Hey, clear it, clear it, clear it.
Wow, bro.
Where they'll place it, it appears to be a 25-yard try.
It's good. The kick is up. The kick is good. It is good. The fireworks go off. The Bills go back to the playoffs for the 4th consecutive year. This crowd is going crazy. The Bills are going crazy. The players are on the field just laying in the snow, dancing around, making snowmen.
Hell of a job, baby.
Still to come on the Sean McDermott Show, we'll break down the next-gen stats from the Bills' win over the Dolphins. And stay tuned to hear Coach's final thoughts on the upcoming game with the Bears.
Sportsology is presented by ECMC. ECMC, bringing hope and healing to Western New York.
Here's the snap. He's going to throw. Tua, Cox's arm, pressured. On the 20-yard line, he is surrounded, he is dropped, the ball comes out, the Dolphins recover the fumble.
It's 3rd down and 1 from Buffalo's 11-yard line. The Dolphins offense is in an 11 personnel set up against a 4-2-5 Bills nickel defense. Bills defensive end Shaq Lawson is aligned in the 6 technique. The ball is snapped and Lawson bull rushes tight end Durham Smythe, driving him back into Miami's pocket. Lawson then sheds his block, drags down Tua Tagovailoa, and knocks the ball loose, resulting in a loss of 8 yards for the Dolphins. Lawson's get-off time was 1.61 seconds. He ran 14.24 total yards and still managed a speed of 6.14 miles per hour while bull rushing the tight end. Dawson's strip sack reduced the Dolphins' winning probability by 5.5%, and this play took 8.1 seconds to complete.
Snap. Josh wants to throw. Play action. Fires down the middle. It is caught by Dawson. Knox in midfield. Breaks a couple of tackles into Miami territory and brought down finally.
It's 2nd down and 7 from Buffalo's 28. The Bills' offense is in a 21 personnel set up against a 3-4-4 Dolphins defense. Josh Allen's under center with tight end Dawson Knox aligned tight left. The ball is snapped and Knox runs a crossing route. Allen fires a pass at Knox and he evades 2 Dolphins defenders before finally being dragged out of bounds for a 45-yard gain. Allen's pass traveled 30.5 total yards in the air in just 1.2 seconds. Knox picked up 25.7 yards after the catch, 18.3 more than expected. Knox was the fastest Bill on this play, topping out at 16.88 miles per hour. The play had a 79% completion probability, and it took 9.1 seconds to complete. With this week's Sportsology, I'm Chris Brown.
Coming up next on the Sean McDermott Show, Maddy Glab and Chris Brown go inside the matchup with the Bears. Plus, Coach gives us his final thoughts on what it will take to get a win in Chicago on Christmas Eve.
Game Preview is presented by Independent Health. You deserve the red shirt treatment.
Welcome into this week's edition of Game Preview. Maddy Glab alongside Bills insider Chris Brown. And we're nearing the end of the regular season. That means temperatures are going to be colder, especially when you're playing outside. The Bills have a chance to clinch the AFC East title if they beat the Bears. Speaking of the Bears, they've got a really good rushing attack thanks to their young quarterback in Justin Fields. They lead the NFL, averaging 186 rushing yards per game. Justin Fields has 1,000 rushing yards. He's got 8 rushing touchdowns. He's got a really good average in terms of yards per rush when he has the ball in his hands. And the Bills have been up and down in stopping the run this year. Some games they've been really good at it, and they do rank high at stopping the run. But in last week's game against the Miami Dolphins, they kind of let some plays get by them, some chunk plays, some big plays as well. So when you look at this game, Chris, how can the Bills stop Justin Fields and some of their other guys who can't get by for a couple rushing yards?
Right. I think at the core of this, it's what personnel are the Bills going to put on the field defensively. As we know, it's very hard to pull the Bills out of their nickel defense. They love Taron Johnson as a do-everything nickel corner, acting as a pseudo-third linebacker. If there was a week to go to a 3-linebacker base defense package, this is the week. Number one, because the Bears are really good at running the ball, and they are horrible at throwing the ball. 32nd in the league in passing. I think that can afford you to put an A.J. Klein on the field as your third linebacker with Milano and Edmonds to help shore up the run game defensively and hopefully get more stops, force long down and distance. Then you bring your nickel package on the field and you go get after the quarterback. To me, that's the way you do it.
Overall this season, the Bills ranked 6th, allowing 106 rushing yards per game. So not the biggest number, but we'll see what they do against Justin Fields this weekend.
All right, Coach, you're getting back on the road to face Chicago. Justin Fields is having a breakout season. He set the rushing record for quarterbacks with 178 yards rushing versus Miami in Week 9. How do you go about preparing for a guy like Justin Fields? Is it a little bit like Lamar? Is the offense kind of similar to that? I mean, they're all unique. What's Justin Fields bring to the table?
Well, they are all unique. Mobile quarterbacks in general are hard to defend, and we have one, so I know how hard that is to defend, and I get a chance to see other people and the fits it gives them when Josh runs around. So it just adds another component that you got to defend 11 guys on the field as opposed to 10.
Well, you can clinch the division title for the 3rd straight year this weekend. After seeing the home field that the fans helped you with this last game against Miami, is that one more log you can put on the fire of your team to say this is how important home playoff games are and getting the home field
100%, yeah. And you know what it's like to play here. The environment, the playoff environment, feel, and whether it's the end of the regular season or the playoffs itself, it's special to play here and where we want to play. And so if we want to do it, we got to win games down the stretch here.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this week in Chicago. We'll catch up with you after the game to recap the game against the Bears and then preview the upcoming Monday night game with the Cincinnati Bengals. And for you at home, thanks for watching the Sean McDermott Show presented by Kaleida Health. Thanks for joining us. And as always, go Bills.
Final Thoughts is presented by Toyota. Toyota is the exclusive and official vehicle of the Buffalo Bills. Toyota, let's go places. The Sean McDermott Show is presented by Kaleida Health, the official healthcare provider of the Buffalo Bills. By Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys. Call 716-684-COMP today. By Toyota. Toyota is the exclusive and official vehicle of the Buffalo Bills. Toyota, let's go places. And by Independent Health. You deserve the red shirt treatment.